Okay, hello boys and girls. So today we are going to be doing a lesson out of our Wonders book. So make sure you have that in front of you, Unit 5. We are going to be reading the same story from Monday. So if you want to go ahead and open your Wonders book to page 13. This is the page you should be on. And this is what we're going to be learning about today. I'm going to put a link to a video in the description of this, talking about the AR sound. When A and R are together, they make the R sound, kind of like a pirate. If you all want to try saying that right now, they say R, like a pirate. So like the word smart and car, card, barn. You can hear the R sound in all of those things. So while we read our story today, we're rereading the same story that we read on Monday. We are going to circle all of the AR sounds that we hear. Now, I already taught this lesson on Zoom just a few minutes ago, so all of my AR sounds are already circled. But you can go through and circle them as we go. So the title of our story, we are on page 13, is A Barn Full of Hats. And you can see I circled the AR in barn. Barn. Flip your page 1 and I will start reading. I'm at the top of page 14. It says, one day, 4 farm animals found a box in a barn. Now, as we're reading, if you see an AR word, go ahead and circle it and then you can check it with mine. They opened it up. What was inside? Hats, hats, and more hats. So you can see I circled farm and barn. Those both make the ARR sound. So go ahead and circle those two. I'll show you one more time because I did that kind of quick. Farm, we circled 4 on Monday because that was one of our high frequency words. Today we're circling farm and barn. I used 2 different colors to show you that the orange is high frequency and the blue is R words. At the top of page 15, look at all those hats. Who wants one? Asked 10. I do, cried Horse. It's smart to wear a hat. A hat will keep the sun out of my eyes. So we circled the word smart up here. And if you remember on Monday, we talked about how Horse wanted a hat to keep the sun out of his eyes. So go ahead and flip your page. I'm on page 16 now. It says, Hen stuck her head in the box. She pulled out a flat, round hat. Try this hat, Hen told Horse. No, that hat is too flat, said Horse. A flat hat makes a good nest, clucked Hen. So she took the hat and she marched away. So you guys, we can circle that word marched down there at the bottom. If you don't have round circled for the high frequency word, you can do that too. But marched as that AR sound. Top of page 17. Pig pushed his head in the box. He pulled out a bright red hat. Put on this hat, Pig told Horse. No, that hat is too red, said Horse. A red hat looks fine, grunted Pig. He put on the hat and marched away. So we already got the word march on the last page, but you can go ahead and circle it again. Flip your page. You should be on page 18. Looks like this. Cat poked her head in the box. She pulled out a thick yarn hat. Try this hat, Cat told Horse. No, that hat is too thick. So our AR word on that page is yarn. Thick yarn is nice, said Cat. I will take the whole hat apart so I can play with the yarn. And she dragged the hat away. So many hats, but none for me. So we have the word yarn on here twice, and then the word apart. Up-art. You can hear the R sound in there. And then none is circled because it's one of our high frequency words. And if at any point you missed a word that I circled, you can rewind and pause to check that out and then hit play when you're ready. Just then, Farmer Clark came into the barn. His hat was large and floppy. If only I had that hat, said Horse. That hat would shade my eyes. Horse grabbed the hat with his teeth. So you can see I circled farmer, Clark, and large. All of those words have the R sound. Page 21. Farmer Clark laughed. He put the hat on horse, and it stayed with no trouble. It fits well, Farmer Clark said. Horse trotted to the barnyard. Clip, clop. He held his head high. Yes, this is the hat for me, said Horse. So we circled farmer twice and Clark twice, which we had on the last page too. And then this word barnyard has two R sounds in it. So that was our whole story. I want you guys to go ahead and open your books to page 27. I'm going to do this up here since I've already done it in my book. Page 27. On that page, we have a table. You have a table that should have 3 columns and 3 rows. So let me go ahead and draw that up here for us. It looks similar to this, right? You should have a table that looks somewhat like that. And the 3 characters that we are going to talk about are horse. So in that first box, go ahead and write horse. Hen. Oh, you know what? I'm missing a column. Hang on. Miss Sorowski messed up. That's okay. That's what's nice about dry erase, is we can just start over. We were missing the middle column. You guys probably thought I was crazy. All right. Let's try that again. So, in that first box, you can write horse, hen, in that first column, and cat. Those are the 3 characters that we are going to talk about. So you can go ahead and pause the video right here, copy those down, and then hit play when you're ready. So we wanted to talk about how, this page is asking us how each animal felt. So the horse, we're looking for their point of view. And then in this middle column, we have to find a clue or evidence that tells us how we know the animal was feeling that way. So, for horse, how do you guys think horse felt when he was the one that really wanted a hat, and then after they went through all the hats in the box, he couldn't find one? I think that horse probably felt upset. Upset or sad or bummed because he was the one that had said at the beginning that he wanted a hat, but there weren't any. The reason I think he feels this way is because on page 19, which is this page, he says, and this was right after Cat had gotten the yarn hat, he says, "So many hats, but none for me," sighed Horse. So in that middle column, we're going to write the number 19 because that's where our evidence or our clue is that tells us that Horse was feeling upset. Go ahead and pause and copy that down and hit play when you're ready. At the very beginning of our story, the first animal that took a hat was Hen. And let's see what Hen said. Hen wanted Horse to try on that flat hat, the flat round hat, and Horse said, "No, that hat is too flat." But Hen said, "A flat hat will make a great nest," clucked Hen. So she took the hat and she marched away. So that was on page 16. And because Hen found the perfect hat that she was looking for to make her nest, I think that Hen was probably pretty happy. I'm thinking Hen, oh, that's a terrible lie. I'm thinking Hen was probably pretty happy to have found that hat that she could then use to make her nest. And I'll zoom in on that in just a minute. And then Cat. Who remembers, try to recall what kind of hat Cat got. Cat got a hat that she didn't even want to wear. If you read it, she wanted Horse to try on the yarn hat, but Horse didn't want it. But Cat says, "Thick yarn is nice," said Cat. "I will take the whole hat apart so I can play with the yarn." So Cat was excited on page 19 to have found a hat made of yarn that she could take apart and play with. So you guys can go ahead, trying to make it so there's no glare. Go ahead and pause the video here to copy anything on this chart down that you don't have. And that's how we can look through a text and find evidence to show how the point of view one of the characters had. So in this story, we had more than horse, hen, and cat. There was horse, hen, pig, cat, and the farmer were all of our characters. But this chart on page 27 only asked us to talk about 3 of them. So those are the 3 that we chose. And then we looked at the text and we found what page number proved how the animal was feeling, and then we wrote how they were feeling. So that is the end of that. Tomorrow, make sure you have your math book and make sure that you have page, I believe it's 5. Yeah, this page. Page 593, the front and the back you need to have done for tomorrow because we are going to go over that at the beginning of our next video. I will talk to you guys soon.